How do you explain quantum entanglement? Well, it's so easy. It's determined at the point at which you make the split. And so if you know this, now you know this. Because when you make the split, because you got to think about the universe, everything's made by rotation of some sort. I can't do the two opposite directions for some reason. I'm not able to make my body do this. I don't know. I can't make my fingers rotate in opposite directions. But basically, think of the world, the universe as making whirlpools, right? And so what's the matter, Martin? What's that smile for?
I was just trying it.
Okay. So what happens is when you split something, you're going to get the same effect, which is spin differences in spin. We call it spin. It might be way more complicated than that. The actual math looks out for these kind of objects. The name of the shape I forget, which is extraordinarily complicated. But in general, it averages out as this kind of spin we can measure. So when you separate them, it's deterministic. So if you know this one, you know that one. And so what we do today is we split these two things out. And if they're if they're the same, we know somebody interfered with the message. So that's how this encryption technique works. Is that we know it's false if somebody interfered with it, because if you touch it, therefore the spin will change. So there's no entanglement is trying to communicate the idea that information transmits across spooky distances. As far as I know, as far as I can test, what I would say is there's no information transmission.
So in other words, you can use it as a sophisticated encryption algorithm, but you cannot use it as an instantaneous, like, subspace communication mechanism.
Right. Now, so there is one issue, because no, that's way too complicated. Essentially, the universe appears to be made out of everything seems to be discrete, and mathematics describes continuousness. And so, in other words, it measures it tends to measure the behavioral result, like statistically, instead of what's actually happening operationally. But the universe appears to be discrete, and there's at least one level below the one we're talking about now, which is the quantum background, that we can't see into yet to see what's happening. But as far as we can tell, there's no way to transmit information through the quantum background other than what we're aware of today. There just doesn't appear to be any way. And there's no bandwidth left from the quantum background up to us there's no bandwidth available in there for anything else to be communicated. So in other words, there can't be any woo-woo. What there can be is pattern recognition, but that's about it. Francis, I'm waiting to see if you thought that was cogent enough for the audience.
I think that sufficiently answered this question.
Okay.